I was on the toilet last night and I had a profound thought. What if our universe, the one we experience every day, is just a slice of something much, much bigger? Welcome to the mind-bending world of the fourth spatial dimension! And no, we're not talking about time travel here. We're talking about an entirely new direction. Beyond up and down, beyond left and right, beyond forward and backward. To understand 4 dimensions, let's start small and build our way up. Imagine a zero-dimensional being, a single point. It has no size, no length, no anything. In video games, this would be those old point-and-click adventure games like Monkey Island or classic text-based adventures where all you do is choose an action or a direction. Now, give that point a direction. You've got a one-dimensional world, a line. Think of games with 1 degree of freedom, maybe an old school fishing minigame where you could only control the power of your cast, or maybe a game like Flappy Bird or Jetpack Joyride where you only control your vertical jump along a horizontal path. You're stuck on that single line moving in one direction at a time. Give a line being a new direction, left or right, and they discover 2 dimensions. A flat plane. A flatlander can move across a surface, but they can't imagine up or down. If a 3D object like a sphere passed through their world, they'd only interpret a circle appear, grow, and then shrink. This is the world of classic side-scrollers like Super Mario Bros. Or top-down games like the early Pokemon titles. And that brings us to 3 dimensions: length, width, and height. We can move up, down, left, right, forward, and backward, yada yada yada. Think of games like Minecraft, which are fantastic examples of volumetric 3D games. If we follow the pattern, a 4th spatial dimension would be an entirely new direction, perpendicular to all 3 of our familiar dimensions. Now, this isn't just some theoretical gobbledygook. This is the core mechanics of the game, 4D Golf. In 4D Golf, your ball and the course itself exist in a 4-dimensional space. The terms Anna and Kata become literal directions you can move in, just like up or down in our world. Our brains are hardwired for 3 dimensions, so truly seeing a 4D object is impossible for us. But there's a pretty simple solution to this. As we 3D beings can only conceptualize a 3-dimensional reality with a maximum of 3 directions, an extra direction just doesn't make sense to us. So what the game developer of 4D Golf did is create something called volumetric mode, in where you can see the hidden dimension while still being in a 3D world. How did he do this, you might ask? It's as simple as swapping out the hidden dimension with the y-axis, often known as height, in our dimension. So for the time you're in volumetric view, you can no longer see the height of the course, and the walls become as high as the w-axis allows them to be. 4D Golf gives us a way to interact and understand it more intuitively by taking the 3 dimensions we can see and swapping height with the hidden dimension. Just as a square is bounded by lines and a cube is bounded by squares, a tesseract is a 4D object bounded by 8 cubes. When you see a tesseract, or the incredibly complex geometry of a 4D Golf level, it's just a 3D projection, like a shadow of a true 4D object. It appears to change shape because we're only seeing a cross-section as it rotates through our 3D space. Or, in the game's case, as you slide that 3D view along the Anna-Kata axis, similar to how a 2D being will perceive a 3D cube. The controls in these games, allowing you to move along new axes and even rotate objects in 4D space, are key to experiencing these higher dimensions. In 4D Golf, you might encounter a sealed box or a tunnel that seems impossible to get your ball into, but by moving Anna or Kata, you can essentially pass through that solid object without breaking it. You're not going around it, you're going through it in a direction we can't perceive. It's like how you can see the inside of a square through above without cutting it, but for a 3D object from a 4D perspective. Imagine you're on a flat 2D plane. If you suddenly stepped up into our 3D world, you'd vanish from the perspective of any 2D person. And this isn't just something confined to clever video games. The concept of extraspatial dimensions is a serious area of study in theoretical physics. Or perhaps we exist on a 3D membrane within a larger, high-dimensional space, unable to perceive the full extent of the universe.